right, Maile. So this is not the first time you interact with Chilean entrepreneurs. In fact, you were part of the mentors who talked to the last GeekCamp when we were in San Francisco. You haven't been talking with them so far here in Chile, but I wanted to know what's your opinion about what you saw the first time?
Sure, so that's correct. Met with 2 rounds of individuals in or groups in San Francisco, and I was blown away by everyone's passion, everyone's enthusiasm for figuring out what that next big thing was. So it's true, we're about, I don't know, T-minus 27 minutes until we get going today, so have not met with any of the groups quite yet, but I'm just excited by everyone's enthusiasm. I think that the individuals here in Chile have a very different outlook and a very different market to work in. So I'm excited to see what people have going, what their big ideas are. I'm obviously very excited about some of the potential here. So you know, what is it? T-minus 26 minutes now, so we're getting close.
So I would like to know your expectations about this week.
Expectations, let's see. I think that today it's going to be very quick pitches. We're looking at 1-minute executions of the idea. I'm hoping that by Friday and definitely by Saturday that we have very fluid 5-minute conversations in which there's a clear idea, there's a clear business model, and I'm really hoping that I'm able to help these different startups with everything from the pitch process to storytelling and even things like perfecting the PowerPoint. So I'm just, again, so excited to meet these companies at the very, very start and hope that I can get them to the next level.
So you're managing the West Coast for AOL. You've seen a huge change in the use of technologies, especially mobiles, right, in the last 1 year? So there you go. So what's your, how can I say that? What's the thing that is hot the most in San Francisco or United States so far right now?
Just within mobile? Yeah. What's the hottest thing right now? I think there's a few things going on. The biggest is the potential of cross-platform targeting and optimization. And before everyone drones off and says, why do I care about this? There's a lot of very interesting implications on reaching a very targeted user. Many of the things I talk about at AOL with a number of our clients is not answering the why question mobile, but the how, right? We know the penetration. You know, I have my phone in a foreign country right now, and I always have this with me, but it's really determining how to reach that engaged consumer, how to reach the individual on the go, the mom, the dad, whatever it may be. And so targeting is very, 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 very exciting. It's a huge, huge monetization opportunity. And I think the thing that you'll notice is a lot of what I talk about either goes back to the advertiser, the brand, or monetization. So figuring out fundamentally how to make money. And I think the answer is going to be in cross-platform optimization.
All right, and about monetization, it's been a huge changes in the business models in the last couple of years too. So we had freemium, we had 30 days trials, we have, I don't know, charging from the beginning, charging for the download. There's some games that charge you for downloads that you have inside the thing. So what's the best, no, I know you don't have the answer, but what is the next trending topic about that?
So, correct. I think when we talk about applications, right, very, very big market, and one of the first things people think about when they get into mobile. So, I think the 2 items for monetization that I'll touch on, number 1 is app downloads and figuring out, or rather utilizing third-party technology and to be able to say, we're not just going to charge for the download, but for the opening or for the registration. And figuring out a way to protect the brand to say, you know, hey, we know it's a tough reality. There's an average of 90 applications in every iPhone with maybe 15 being opened every week. So really figuring out a way to protect the brand and to encourage a consumer to interact. So I think that's absolutely great. And what else? What else am I interested in the monetization front? Maybe how rich media and creating an ad unit that's a value exchange changes the market dynamic a little bit and challenges the traditional notion of click-through rates are the end-all, which is really, I think, a sin of the web. So I think working on those 2.
And the last question? One more question, yeah. How do you see AOL working with innovation, with these startups, with entrepreneurs?
So that's a great question, and probably the one that, that I can speak to the most. So we actually have a mobile-first team that sits in Palo Alto in the middle of Silicon Valley, and we harness in on hosting about 30 different startups. So AOL is very tied into the innovation and to the startup environment, not only because of its headquartered location in Palo Alto, but because there are actually funds that go to startups. So a great example of this is, again, in Palo Alto, we have startups sitting with our individual teams, figuring out ways that they can create something that can affect a very, very large brand. And you know, we've been first to the market on a number of things, including 3D mobile ad units, so incorporating real 3D in a traditional magazine opportunity, and really pushing forward any kind of innovation from different ways to target, to serve ad units, and to build creative.
Oh, I have one more question. Okay, I'm sorry. So here's the thing. How do you see women in this environment?
Yes, okay. So I am thrilled you asked that, because I'm obviously the only female mentor here, and it's even more reason that I'm excited to be here. So I think this might be a trend in the US, that women are taking a very, very big role in the mobile marketplace. Women in Wireless is one of the largest organizations that I'm a part of, and it's fascinating. When you go to mobile-specific conferences in the US, I would say it's 70 to 80% women. So it's actually a market in which men are not dominating, which is fascinating for a lot of reasons. But then when I think about the startup market, and I talk about incubators and these VC funds, I think it's still a very male-dominated market. So I think it's interesting, especially being here, that I'm sitting at a convergence of two very, very different marketplaces, and I'm excited for what's to come. I'm encouraged.
Thank you so much. Thank you all right.